Which one's the best crypto asset? Bitcoin. Crypto asset. Which one's the best one? 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 What's the second best?
Welcome in to Discover Crypto. I'm your boy, The Druth, on the Basement Afternoon Show. Trump is about to go live at the American Business Forum down in Florida. Let me know in the chat, one, if the sound is coming over for you well. We will have this live stream coverage coming up for you guys. Now, we're watching for Trump to actually take the stage. This is the White House official broadcast of this. And do let me know in the chat if sound gets wonky as we're waiting for this announcement to come. This way I can keep the chart on top of the actual video. This is going to be a pretty interesting time frame. Trump has plans to discuss some very, very key topics today that markets have been watching very closely, talking about the trade war, the tariff war, growth and achievements of the U.S. economy. Other potential mentions are digital assets, budget reforms, and the government shutdown, of course. So many things are to be discussed here on the show. So welcome one, welcome all. Our bags are still there. Titanium hands, good to see you in the chat, SYR. And, just so you guys know, it's a time where there is absolute uncertainty. Is the market going to continue? We have a great, great guest coming on the show today who's been doing some insanely good TA. Even talking about, is this market truly over? Well, if we are at the end, the tail end of this market, you have to keep your crypto on a cold custody device. This partner of our channel, Arculus, please do support Arculus and everything that we do, because I'm telling you, I'm going to be taking on some of the most powerful crypto entities on the planet over the course of the next 5 days, and I need your support. You watching this at home more than ever. If you haven't already, pick up an Arculus cold storage device. They come in this beautiful little packaging, metal card. It's maybe the best. It's huge. Please do support me as I go into the line of fire for everybody that holds crypto. I am taking on the beast directly. Many people would not go where I'm going. I'm going there for you guys. Okay, so make sure to support this channel. We are watching this live to make sure we don't miss it. We got this still waiting to come up. This is the White House official, so he's not live already. We do have Tony Robbins talking right now. He's going, oh, everyone give me a hell yeah in the chart, in the chat, press one in the chat. He's getting everyone ramped up, ready to go. But as we're waiting for Trump to go live, I am going to kind of move through a little bit of stories here. There is quite a bit going on. As you can see, Bitcoin with a nice rebound. We'll check out the CoinGlass time frame on the weekly, because so much liquidity has been eaten up to the bottom side. And actually, Bitcoin found a little momentary bounce moment here from $98,900. So hopefully we do see this rebound. And as I said, there are some things to be discussed here. Supreme Court rulings are going on to make a decision on Trump's tariffs today. If the court rules against Trump tariffs, the U.S. could have to pay billions of dollars back to countries which devastated for the markets. This would absolutely be horrible for the markets if the U.S. had to pay billions of dollars back in tariff, right? Absolutely awful. So something we're watching very, very closely today. If the court rules in favor of Trump, we might see a market rally. Well, things don't look so hot. We have the odds of President Trump's tariffs being ruled as legal by the Supreme Court collapsing to just 18% on Polymarket. Now, this is a highlight on top of Kobieski's letter from this morning, talking about the Supreme Court going to have these oral hearings at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So let me show you how to change it.
What do we got here? What do we got here? I heard something. Is it starting? Oh, they just let Tony they just let Tony through the sound. I want to know what you guys think in the chat. Do you think that Trump's tariffs are going to be deemed illegal by the Supreme Court? I want to know what you think, because this is going to matter. If these tariffs that he's done to China and China has done in parallel are rolled back, the United States is going to owe that money back. This is going to be a major, major problem, because a lot of the economic growth, all the economic stimulus that he's been highlighting even during this government shutdown have been pointing to the amount of money coming into the United States via these tariffs. So one in chat, if the tariffs get a stick and Trump had the right to do them, or two in chat, if the Supreme Court says nay, and we are about to see some serious red, not just on crypto, but on Wall Street as well. Don't think the S&P 500 is immune from this. I want to see what you guys are thinking here in the chat. We got a one. We got I'll look at Dash in a minute. Legal, illegal, right? I mean, this is a very, very split conversation, right? Some people think that they're illegal, others think that they're not. I would like the tariffs if they did away with the Internal Revenue Service and just simply did tariffs, but they get to do both, right? And a lot of people have been trying to convince me that double taxation on myself is good because we need to dig ourselves out a hole of ourselves, our own elected officials selling American jobs to China for the last 4 decades. So I got to get double taxed to pay that price. That's the conversation being had right now. And I'm having a really hard time digesting that as reasonable or even true. So we're going back and making sure we're not missing Trump talking, but nothing logical now. Let's see here. 3 semi, no pullbacks. Let me add to future tariffs. Scripted. November trends say no. Not all tariffs, possibly. Yeah, I mean, there might be some nuance in here. Trump is indeed always late. And, we're watching this very, very closely just in case he's able to pop out here ahead of time. He is expected here, but we have to hop into the rest of the news. Representative Michael Collins coming out saying launch the nuke. Got a lot of people kind of wondering what the hell the this elected representative, who is bullish on meme coins, mind you, is talking about when he says launch the nuke. There is an extreme level of political partisanship going on right now. There is an extreme pain for people that were employed by the government that have seen the government really shut down their income largely, but also the economic velocity of not having those people able to pay their bills, not able to pay their car payments, not able to pay many, many different bills. And yes, they're going to get back pay once the government reopens, but this is causing some serious extra economic strain in the background, right? And while all this is going on here in the US, we're sitting here throwing mud at each other, smearing poop on each other's face for whatever political side we're on. China came out with this insanity. This is, we got to read about this a little bit. So this is where I get a little bit worried. Iron, a 5'10", 150-pound AI humanoid robot, already building EV cars on XPeng Motors factory floor in China. Okay, it has over 60 joints, human-like spine, facial expressions, and male and female customizations. The gait of this robot, most human-like ever seen. And just, it's absolutely insane to see the way that this robot and the fluidity of its movement, the way that this robot walks down the runway here, it is something out of a horror film. This is what is happening in China. And yes, we do have Elon Musk here in the United States really pushing forward in the development of robots, AI, things of that nature. And there are many AI companies here in the US, but China seems to be outpacing us in terms of technological advancements on robotics. This is absolutely kind of nightmare fuel for me. Would you buy this robot for your life? Would you buy a robot to help make your life easier, right? Abraham Lincoln thought he got rid of it forever. Well, not so much. It looks like it's knocking on his door again in the form of mechanisms. And this is something out of an absolute sci-fi film. So just a side note as we're waiting for Donald Trump to come live, and also where the Bitcoin ETF movements have gone last day, net flows were down 5,000 Bitcoin. Fidelity outflows were 3,500, kind of topping out those outflows. And then Ethereum ETF saw a net flow of 12,400 Ethereum leaving ETFs. Fidelity, again, leading up that migration out of crypto ETFs there. And now we have the situation where Bitcoin's 12% drop compared to the S&P 500's 1.6% dip may signal an oversold setup, potential relief rally ahead. And like I said, we're going to be diving into more of the brostrology from one of the experts. I've been watching this guy absolutely crush it for months on end. Yeah, I'm pretty effective, but I want to make sure I'm bringing you guys expert analysis, and very excited to bring them on the show here later after Trump's speech here. And there is so much to cover here. I did see a little bit of hope in the background because Jim Cramer said that we're now officially in a bear market. So the hopeful romantic in me says, oh my God, finally we get some relief. Finally, we can get a decent bounce here. But we are not out of the woodwork yet. We are absolutely not out of the woodwork yet. And if we go on over to CoinMarketCap just to see where the market's at for the moment being, what is this? Logged me out. All right, so let's look at the top gainers. We got
to do this. Let's try this.
I'd
I'd like you to think of a problem in your life.
Do you guys hear that? One in chat if you hear
maybe
that.
not a problem. Maybe it's
You hear
unfinished
Tony?
business. Unfinished business.
Oh no, then maybe you don't. It was on a different tab. So ZK Sync coming back though, 149% over the last 7 days. What is going on here? A nice bounce.
Please welcome the 45th and the 47th President of the United States.
What do we got?
Donald
Here it is.
J. Trump.
All right, he's walking out. Let me know if there's an echo as well. Let me know if there's an echo. Here we go. It is live. It is live, America First. All right, here we go. Here we go. Woo! Lock in, folks. Lock in. They keep playing that song. I dealt with a nasty movement from YouTube a few months ago. So I'm having to deal with that situation still, being very careful about I know. Tim, as soon as he starts talking, I'll bring up the sound. There is something that happened in my past that caused the inability for me to just free ball it here. So we got the Bitcoin price, pulling it up on the 1 minute because that's where the deep alpha is. That's where the deep alpha lies. Rest in peace, New York City. Looks pretty good. All right, Donald Trump. He looks a little extra tan. He's down in Florida. All right, here we go. Come on, Trump. Bring it on. Bring it on. Oh, Lord. He's kind of just dancing. I don't think the hold on, I gotta get a minute. There's no dump yet, Jesus. Yes, this is a shoulder rig. Saw some people asking. This is a true shoulder rig. This is not a CoffeeZilla style shoulder rig. This is what men wear. All right, here we go.
Wow, what a nice group. And I love Miami. I love to be with the people. Many of you are not from Miami, but that's okay too. And I'm thrilled to be back in magnificent Florida, Miami, Florida, with thousands of incredible business leaders and true American patriots. That's what you are. We're gathered today on the 1-year anniversary of the single most consequential election victory, they say.
See what I can do.
This isn't me. I'm a very modest person. I would never say this. The single most consequential election victory.
Turning myself down. Turn it up on your end. I've got it cranked.
On November 5th, 2024, the American people reclaimed our government. We restored our sovereignty. We lost a little bit of sovereignty last night in New York, but we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. We rescued our economy, regained our liberty, and together we saved our country. On that magnificent night, 365 days ago, you know, I was with a group of very important people, and they say, think of it, last week, just last week, 6 days ago, 7 days ago, They said, you were campaigning 1 year ago. I said, no, it felt like I've been in this position for so long. And it's right. At that point, 1 year ago, I was actually campaigning. We did the McDonald's shot. Remember the McDonald's shot? We did the garbage truck shot. And actually, the McDonald's one was the biggest hit in the history of Google. Can you believe that? Number one, the garbage truck did well, but not as well. I guess there's something about McDonald's, right? But it worked. And we won a tremendous election. We won all 7 swing states. We won the great state of Florida, by the way, by 1.4 million votes, which is unprecedented. Biggest victory ever in Florida, including an 11-point victory right here in a place called Miami-Dade County. We won the popular vote for the first time of any Republican in many decades. We won the Electoral College 312 to 226. And we won 86% of the counties in America. That's a big one. 2,700 to 525. I'd say that's called a landslide, right? We got more votes from African Americans than any Republican candidate in history. We also won a record share of votes from the incredible Hispanic American community. There might be a couple of us left. Biggest vote in history. And above all, we won a resounding mandate to make America great again, which is what we're doing. And every day since, I've been fighting to turn the promise made into the ultimate promise kept. We're going to do our job. We have a big job to do. We've done really well. I think it's the best 9 months, they say, of any president. And I really believe that if we can have a few more 9 months like this, you'd be very happy. You'd be very satisfied. But it's been pretty incredible, with trillions and trillions of dollars being poured back into our country by other countries and other places and people. 1 year ago, we were a dead country. Now we're a country that's considered the hottest country anywhere in the world. It's the hottest country. We are now in the hottest country anywhere in the world. And I'm pleased to report that today the United States has the strongest economy, the strongest borders, the strongest military, the strongest friendships, and the strongest spirit of any nation anywhere. We have the greatest economy right now. A lot of people don't see that. But if you look at what's happening with all the factories, AI, auto plants all over the country being built, that if you would have thought about that 2 or 3 years ago, you would have said it was the opposite. They were all leaving. Now they're all coming in. They're all coming back and then some. And I think that we can honestly say, and I think you're going to see it even more so over the next 12 months, that this is the golden age of America. This is the golden age.
Facts.
In the prior
Big facts.
4 years, crooked Joe Biden oversaw less than $1 trillion of new investment in the United States. So in 4 years, less than, think of it, less than 1 trillion. That was not doing too good. In 9 months, I've secured commitments of over $18 trillion, and we're going to have $21 trillion within the first year.
That's a chunk of change.
So Sleepy
That's
Joe did, think of that. In 4 years, he did less than $1 trillion. We're going to have 21 trillion in 1 year. I would say it's slightly better. Slightly, just a little bit better. The stock market is set 40-time all-time record highs, and just recently, record high, record high, record high. All of them, all of the different exchanges. GDP growth in the second quarter was an amazing, almost 4%. And as you know, they said, oh, it'll be 2% or 1%. And it's been really helped a lot by the tariffs. It's been really helped incredibly, because this is really a transition period. We went from a horrible, failed country to a tremendous success. It's a transition, and yet we did almost 4%, triple and even quadruple almost every other country anywhere in the world. Think of that. In the third quarter, we're on track to achieve an estimated 4.2, maybe more. Who knows? I think if you go a couple of years out, you're going to see numbers like you've never seen, because all of these places that are now under construction, they're being built, they're going to be open, and thousands of jobs, hundreds of thousands of jobs are coming in, even building them. But when they open, that's when you're really going to see the numbers.
Are you guys doing better or worse under Trump?
Ever built
Type it in
anywhere
chat.
in the world. The AI buildings, you know, they show displays of them. They can cover the island of Manhattan. They're so big. They literally can cover the island of Manhattan. In 9 months, we've lifted over 600,000 Americans off of food stamps, which is a record. 1.9 million more American-born workers are employed today. Think of that. Almost 2 million American-born workers are employed today, more than when I took office. That's 9 months ago. Can you imagine that? And I tell Republicans, if you want to win elections, you got to talk about these facts, you know. It's really easy to win elections when you talk about the facts. And we have more people working now than at any time in the history of our country. Right now, we have more people working. These are things you have to talk about. It doesn't just happen. You got to tell them. It's wonderful to do them, but if people don't talk about them, then you can do not so well in elections. Wages for workers are rising at the fastest pace in over 60 years. Those are workers, and that's what we love. We love the workers.
Resistance.
Since I took office, wages for the typical factory worker are up $1,300. Construction workers' pay is up $2,200, and miners are up nearly $5,000 this year alone. And that's good because it's not, you know, such an extra cost to the company. It really isn't. Somebody would say, oh, what's going to cost more? The fact is that they're doing such business like they've never done. You're going to start seeing numbers coming out very soon that are going to blow your mind. Under Biden, we had the worst inflation in modern history. We had inflation that was so bad, costing the typical family about $33,000 over a period of time. Their policies send food prices up 23. They come in, you know, when I first came in, I was in for 3 days, and one of the fake news members, they're all back there. That's a lot of press. Fake news. They said, egg prices are through the roof. I was there for 3 days. And this maniac, this lunatic person, happened to be a woman. Sir, what are you going to do about egg prices? And they had gone up like 4 or 5 times. I said,
haven't
well,
noticed.
You just told me it has a problem.
I make
And
eggs.
people weren't buying Easter eggs. You believe it? I said, we're buying Easter eggs for the White House, for the egg hunt, the famous egg hunt. But within a couple of months, we got them down. We have a great Department of Agriculture headed by Brooke Rollins, and we did a great job, and we got them down to the level they originally were a long time ago. And we have that in just about everything. And if we don't have it, we get them down. Their policies sent food prices soaring 23%, the Biden policies. And it wasn't him. It was the people surrounding him around the desk. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. Biden. How the hell did that happen? Well, I know how it happened. A rigged election. That's how it happened. Think of the damage done. Although I must tell you, but this is a much more powerful term. I mean, this is a much better term. In one way, it's bad to see how bad people. You're going to see the same thing in New York, by the way. You watch what happens in New York. Terrible. But you're going to see that same thing. And I hope it doesn't happen, but you're going to see it. Gas prices are surging to $5 a gallon, even higher, and mortgage rates skyrocketed by 152%. But under the Trump administration, all of that is changing. Prices are coming down very fast, and we're bringing them back to the beautiful part where you can have, and you can truly say, we're talking about the American dream again. You didn't used to hear that term. You heard it during my 4 years, and then it disappeared. Now you're hearing it again more than ever. Because we had the most successful economy in the history of our country during my first 4 years. We rebuilt the economy, cut the biggest tax cut in history. We had the biggest tax cut in history, the biggest regulation cut in history. That's why we had the great economy. And now the only difference is we're doing better this time. Actually, we're going to have a bigger, better, stronger economy than the first 4 years. And that was the most successful economy in history. Gasoline prices have plummeted to the lowest in 2 decades, and we're going to soon see $2 gasoline. Think of that, $2 a gallon. It was up to $4.50, $5. And you know, when you get gasoline and you get oil and gas down, it's so big, it's so massive, the importance of it, that everything else starts to follow. And that's what's happening. Grocery prices are way down, and Walmart just announced that the cost of their standard Thanksgiving meal, this is the greatest. They're greatest, they're wonderful. They come out every year with how much does a Thanksgiving meal cost compared to last year, right? And it always goes up, up, up. It's 40%, 30% more. Is 25% lower than 1 year ago. Isn't that great? That's a big deal, Rima. That's a big deal. I don't know if they care about that in Saudi Arabia, but here it means a lot. We got the princess here from Saudi Arabia. She's got a lot of cash.
Safe and effective.
Serious cash, and she's a great person. So she doesn't care about the price of a turkey is down a little bit, you know, she doesn't have to worry about it. Since March, the price of eggs is down 85%. Energy prices are down, interest rates are down, despite the fact that we have a total nincompoop at the Federal Reserve. It was recommended by one of my real great people, who I'd never spoke to again.
Yeah, he appointed Powell.
And
He's the one that
cost of the
appointed
typical
Powell.
new mortgage is down by nearly $3,000 a year. Day by day, we're making America affordable again. It's going to be affordable again at a really record pace. And, you know, other people are going to take credit. All the mayors and all the governors, they're going to say what a great job. They didn't do a damn thing. Yet as we speak, the Democrats in Congress are trying to put all of this progress at risk and drag us back to the Biden policies of soaring prices, crushing energy costs, massive spending, open borders, let the world come into our country from prisons and from mental institutions, let them pour in, and rampant inflation. That's what Biden gave us, all of those things. With the reckless Democrat shutdown, virtually every Democrat in Congress has voted to hold the American people hostage in an effort to extort hundreds of billions of dollars in new spending. They're demanding free health care for illegal aliens that just came into our country from prisons and from mental institutions, and drug dealers and drug addicts, and they want to give $1.5 trillion in giveaways that would turbocharge rapid inflation again, as they did the first time. You remember that just a couple of years ago, 4 disastrous years we just had.
Oh,
They were
shit.
the worst years. Meanwhile, the radical left Democrats are causing millions of Americans who depend on food stamps to go without benefits. They're forcing federal workers to go without paychecks, and they're stranding thousands of travelers at the airports. And you understand it, and they understand it. All because they want to return to the failed Biden policies that created, and also Obama policies. I watched him the other day up talking, well, Donald Trump is a mean person. I'm not a mean person. I just want to have a country that's great again. Is that okay? I'm not a mean person. He's a mean person.
That okay?
He's a divider. He's a divider. Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. And by the way, ask him how he's doing on his museum library. He's got hundreds of millions of dollars of cost overruns. It's come to a dead halt. He built it in not a particularly good location. He's not into real estate, you know. He doesn't know about location. He doesn't know about location. But he built it in a location that's not going to be too good. But the thing has come to a dead halt. It's way over budget. It's sort of like Gavin Newsom in California. He's got a train that was supposed to go from San Francisco to Los Angeles, which is a stupid idea because an airplane is faster. I don't care how fast it goes. And they had plenty of airplanes. San Francisco, inside San Francisco to inside right there, L.A. And what they did is they said, oh, man, this has been going on for years. It's billions and billions of dollars over budget. So what they decided to do is cut it so that it doesn't go into San Francisco and into L.A. It way short of both. And then they cut it again and again and again. Pretty soon they're going to have like 2 miles of track. Billions and billions of dollars. Totally incompetent. The biggest cost overrun proportionately that I've ever seen. Many, many, many times more. And it's no longer the same. It was supposed to go into the city. Now it's way short, many miles short of the city. So they're going to drop you off and you can walk the rest of the way. That train is going to haunt him. You watch, because he doesn't have what it takes. I tell you that. Slimy guy. He's a slimy one. Maybe that should be his nickname. Slimy Newsom, right? but he doesn't have it. But you look at that train, it's going to cost him. Republicans have voted 14 times to fund the government, and it's time for Chuck Schumer, crying Chuck. Remember he started crying at the airplanes? They were the worst forced tears. I've known him all his life. He's never cried, but he broke down in tears. He was so devastated. He didn't know why he was crying, but he just thought it was good to do. His people told him this was a good time to cry, crying Chuck. But it's time for Chuck Schumer and the radical Democrat Congress to stop playing games with the people's lives and to pass a clean funding bill that they've done 30 times before. And to reopen government immediately, just reopen it. They don't like it to be reopened because we're setting records. They think actually, I don't think anything's going to hurt. We are so strong now that I'm not sure that anything's going to hurt. But It would be good to open it up, take care of the people with jobs that aren't going to get paid and aren't getting paid. And no matter what, we will not let them impose their inflation-causing extremism on the American people. We're not going to pay $1.5 billion for people that came into our country illegally, okay?
Are we at a business forum?
That's what they did last time. Remember the Inflation Reduction Act? The greatest scam, one of the greatest scams. I would say some of their environmental scams were even bigger.
True.
One of the greatest scams ever, Inflation Reduction Act. And then they admitted it had nothing to do with inflation reduction, remember? But it did actually cause massive inflation. It actually caused massive inflation. But we don't use auto pens in the Trump administration to sign things. We don't believe in that. You know, I get these guys come in with these big, beautiful documents, gorgeous, beautiful, must cost a fortune. I should check the price. But, you know, a general is being made or something, you know, some big post. And they say, sir, would you sign this, please? It's going to be a 4-star general, or it's going to be a big cabinet position, or it's going to be something with medical or whatever. I take my pen and I sign it. In his case, they walk it into a room and they give it to somebody who's no idea who Biden is. But Biden doesn't have any idea who he is either. And they have a machine sign it, the auto pen. And all of the pardons, he gave thousands of pardons to people. He had no idea about it. He didn't know about it. And therefore, all those pardons are void. You know, you have to have, it's a very complicated thing if you're going to use the machine. You have to do it properly. And he didn't have any idea what was happening. And this is what we had as a president. We don't want that. You have the opposite right now. I don't want to be braggadocious, but you have the exact, I know exactly what's happened. If you want to see what congressional Democrats wish to do to America, just look at the result of yesterday's election in New York, where their party installed a communist as the mayor of the largest city in the nation.
Let me know how you like your Oculus. Get your crypto off
we
freaking
will
exchange.
never have a socialist elected to any post in our country. I used to say that, and I was right. We skipped socialist and we put in a communist instead. That didn't work out too well. But as I've warned for many years, our opponents are hell-bent on turning America into a communist Cuba or socialist Venezuela, and you see what happened to those places. For generations, Miami has been a haven for those fleeing communist tyranny in South Africa. I mean, if you take a look at what's going on in parts of South Africa, look at South Africa, what's going on. Look at South America, what's going on. You know, I'm not going to, we have a G20 meeting in South Africa. South Africa shouldn't even be in the Gs anymore because what's happened there is bad. I'm not going. I told them I'm not going. I'm not going to represent our country there. It shouldn't be there. Take a look at what's happening in different parts of South America. Take a look at what's happening in different parts of the world. But now the Democrats are so extreme that Miami will soon be the refuge for those fleeing communism in New York City. They flee.
Did they just bleep him out?
They flee. Where do you live? New York City, but I'm trying to leave because I don't want to live in a communist regime. I hope it works out for New York. I love New York. I love New York. When I left New York for the White House, it was good, except we had, you know, the telltale signs of trouble because we had a guy named de Blasio. Do you ever hear of him as mayor? He goes down as probably the worst mayor in history. Then he went to Harvard to teach government. Do you believe it? They took de Blasio, and they took that mayor from Chicago, the woman The one that gets her hair done very expensively, right? Beautiful hair. She got beautiful, luxuriant hair. And they took her, she's teaching at Harvard. They're teaching government. And then you hear about Harvard. We're trying to work a settlement with Harvard right now for about like a lot of money. I won't tell
Yeah,
you what.
give us
but
the
we'll be reading
economy
about it
stuff,
pretty soon.
man.
Because what they've done to
Come on.
Jewish people and what they've done to others is pretty bad, I'll tell you. It's pretty bad. Going to cost them a lot of money.
Give me the
After
juice.
last night's results, the decision facing all Americans could not be more clear. We have a choice between communism and common sense. Does that make sense to you? Common sense. It's common sense or communism. And you know, you take a look back 1,000 years, it hasn't worked. If it worked, we'd be using it, I guess, but it hasn't worked. Our opponents are offering an economic nightmare. We're delivering an economic miracle. We have delivered in 9 months. This is the biggest investment of funds in a country in history by many times. That's good.
Oh, don't do it, Heath.
They want higher spending for government and illegal aliens. We want bigger paychecks for American workers and American families, and that's what we're delivering. You see that? They stand for crime and chaos and corruption. We stand for law and order and justice. Also, strong borders. Boy, do we have strong borders. They put America last. We put America first. We put America first. And as long as I'm in the White House, the United States is not going communist in any way, shape, or form. We'll stop it. We're going to stop it. Stop this nonsense. You know, I said they were voting last night. You could have a communist or a thug. A communist, and they took the communist, you know. It's pretty amazing. We could have done a little better in terms of candidates. From day one of my administration, I've been fighting every single day to turn around the catastrophe we inherited to make America the best place on the planet Earth to do business. And that's what it is. Right now, we're the #1 place. I'm getting plants approved in 2 weeks. It used to take 20 years before they got rejected. You'd have young people start off. Their whole business was getting a certain plant accepted. 22 years later, they're ready to retire, and they haven't gotten it. And then they go to a vote, and they get rejected after 22. They wasted a whole life looking for an acceptance. We do it in 2 weeks. We make sure it's good. We make sure it's great and proper, environmentally sound. Takes 2 weeks. My goal is to have the best tax rates, the lowest energy cost, the lowest regulatory burden, the most advanced technology, and the fairest trade deals anywhere in the world. You know, we're leading China. We're leading everybody by a lot in AI. And this was my idea, so I'm very proud of it. I said, build your own electric. People would come. We need more electric grid, sir. The electric grid's 200 years old. We need more electric grid. It's old. The electricity that the AI plants need alone is double the entire electricity that we have in the country right now. Can you believe it? So I had this idea. I said, we can't fix the old grid that much. We'll fix it up. We'll keep it going. A little Band-Aid here, a little Band-Aid there. It's old. And I said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to let these geniuses build their own electric generation. So they are building their own electric utility plants. They become a utility, if you think about it. They're building the utility and the electric right alongside. This is where they have their transformers and everything. They're building the most expensive electric plants you've ever seen, generating plants. Some by nuclear, some by oil and gas, some by coal as a substitute. They're building them right next to their plant, and they're incredible. People say they've never seen anything like it because these minds are genius. To them, an electric plant is not complicated. To them, an electric plant is better than the people that produce electricity, although Florida Power and Light is doing a lot of plants for people. They're pretty advanced, I have to tell you. But they're building their own juice next to the plant. Isn't that sort of a cool idea? And you know, when I first proposed that, they came into my office with, you know, they have unlimited money, but they were trying to figure out how they can build it because they had no electric of any consequence. And I said, you're going to build your own plant. I'm going to get you your approvals in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month if I'm slow. We have a great man, Lee Zeldin, in charge of the environment. He's incredible. And he's tough, too. He's very tough. But they have their approval in 2-3 weeks. You know, they're dealing with the best experts in the world. They know what they're doing. It's amazing when you see some of the stuff come in, designed by guys with 190 IQs, and then you have an inspector who's not quite as smart as that, inspecting it to see whether or not it's okay. And he has no idea what he's looking at. No idea. But I said, you're designing your own electric plant. And they didn't believe it. They come in 2 weeks later, they say, the biggest problem is electric. I said, you can design your own plant. And we're going to have your approvals within 2 to 4 weeks. And they said, he's really serious about it. They thought I was kidding. It was so good, they couldn't believe it. They'd leave and they couldn't believe it. It took me 2 or 3 times to say it. Yeah, they're designing their own electric plants, and it's unbelievable. And then they're going to sell their excess electricity back into the grid. So we benefit in that way, too. In July, I proudly signed into law the largest tax cuts in American history. Now, that's the second time. I did it the first time, but these are even larger, the great, big, beautiful bill. And that includes no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for our great seniors, no tax on Social Security. I wonder which is the most popular of the no tax on tips. You know, I was in Nevada, in my building in Las Vegas, and I had this beautiful young waitress come up to me. I never talk about beauty anymore because politically, if you mention somebody's beautiful, that's the end of your political career. So I don't mention that she was beautiful, but she was beautiful. And she came up and I said, how you doing? Oh, sir, I'm not doing well. The government is horrible on tips. I said, really? How do they tax? They tax tips? They tax us and they go after us. I've never seen anything like it. It's made my life miserable. Sir, there should be no tax on tips. She said to me, no tax on tips. I said, say it again. She said, sir, there should be no tax on tips. So we had a lot of the fake news waiting for me outside of the restaurant. So I went out, I said, ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement to make. There will be no tax on tips. That's how it all started. And I won Nevada. I won Nevada. Because, you know, in Nevada, every job is basically, you know, you're a waitress or you're working in a hotel. No, that's how it started. So it was amazing. We won Nevada easily, which is usually not a stronghold for Republicans, but it's become a stronghold. So I want to thank the waitress. She did a great job. But when she said those words, sir, there should be no tax on tips, it's amazing. Somebody else would hire a consultant, pay them millions and millions of dollars. They'll come back and they'll say, sir, I think you should absolutely tax tips. And you lose the election. But we also have 100% expensing for all new factories, plants, and equipment, so your businesses can write it off all in 1 year, and that's a lot of jobs you're doing and producing. That was, to me, the biggest thing in the first bill. But this is even better because this goes for a 10-year period. Upon taking office, I signed an executive order requiring that every new regulation, every time we issue a new regulation, think of this, 10 old regulations must be eliminated simultaneously. So if we give you one, you get rid of 10. And so far, for 9 months, we're exceeding that. And it's 30 to 1. For every new one we give, they're getting rid of 30 old, broken down regulations. And we've slashed nearly $1 trillion worth of regulatory burdens. We have regulations that are so old and nobody uses them, but they stymied a lot of production, a lot of jobs. And I did it the first time, and we had the largest regulation cuts in history, and now we're exceeding it this time. So it's big. It's one of the reasons we did so well then, and I think it's one of the reasons we're doing so well now. Again, we have to talk about it, because if we don't talk about it, nobody else, the fake news, is not going to talk about it. And we have streamlined permitting for the new energy and mining projects. What used to take decades now takes 28 days. And on day one, I signed an executive order to unleash American energy and officially terminate the Green New Scam. Has anyone ever heard of the Green New Scam? Remember the old thing, global warming, and then it would be too cool? And then they said global cool. They didn't know what the hell to say. So they came up with the greatest, climate change. No matter what, if it goes up, if it goes down, climate change. They're very, very smart people, but not smart for us. They're smart for them. But my policy was very simple. Drill, baby, drill. We're drilling like crazy right now.
It's true. He is drilling.
And to curb inflation, we've slashed the size of government for the first time in years, and we're waging total war on waste, fraud, and abuse like we've never done before. Since January, 100,000 bureaucrats have left the federal payroll. Government spending is down 2.5% this quarter compared to 1 year ago. Think of that. And in stark contrast to last administration, 100% of all new jobs created in America under my administration have been created in the private sector. 100% of the jobs have come from the private sector. Otherwise, you don't have a country. I mean, I love government workers, but if you have all government workers, you don't have a country, do you? At the same time, my tariffs are bringing in hundreds of billions of dollars and are helping slash the deficit this year by more than 50%. Did you see the numbers? We're going to be down 50%, anywhere from 25 to 50, but closer to 50%. Who would think that one? Those are big numbers. Now, take that out 2 or 3 years to embrace a vital industry here in Miami. I've also signed historic executive orders to end the federal government's war on crypto. Crypto is under siege. It's not under siege anymore because it's a big industry. It's a big industry, and I have a lot of people that are great people, great business people. They're in other businesses, but they're in crypto too. And it takes a lot of the pressure off the dollar. It does a lot of good things, but we're into it. Biden was vicious on crypto. They were going after these crypto guys. It was terrible. They were under indictment, but I got indicted too. I got indicted. I made a phone call. Congratulations on your victory. He made a phone call. Let's indict him. These people are the worst. Then they say, he's gone after Comey. They indicted me. They impeached me. They did everything. It's unbelievable. Who the hell else could have taken that? Do you guys know anybody else that could have taken it? I don't think so. A lot of people say, you're the only one could have taken that. I don't know if that's true, but there aren't too many. We're making the United States the Bitcoin superpower, the crypto capital of the world, and the undisputed leader in artificial intelligence. We're leading China by a lot.
That's good.
And don't forget, if we don't do the crypto properly, China wants to do it. They're starting it, but they want to do it. Other countries want to do it. If we don't do it, it's a big industry. We're honored to be joined today by a man who has been a true champion for many of these bold policies. He really has. He's been a great guy. He was a little late in his endorsement of me, I'll be honest with you. Endorsed me. You know, these guys that endorsed me after I won, I don't know. Those
are big words you just said.
I'd like to endorse you. No, I won the election. Nah, he's a good man, actually. I've known him a long time. He's helped turn the area into one of the hottest markets in the country and one of the greatest cities in the world. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez. Please, Francis, come up, please.
Full body. All right, he said crypto, folks. Okay. He said crypto. Now we get to sell off and go to hell.
You're never gonna let me forget that one, huh? Thank you, my brother.
All right. Now we're
going to President.
All right.
Just a little short of it.
There we go. I'm going to keep an eye on this
honor to be here with you,
video in the background as well,
to have you here once
just in
again
case Trump says more things. No one
Miami.
really cares
Your
what the other people in the
and your
room
vision
are going to say,
have
honestly.
shaped not only
Oh,
nation,
man, what a day.
but
You know
also
what?
the future of
All
our
right.
city.
So he said crypto.
Miami's success.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good deal. Not too bad. But you know, that candle that we got is probably going to go away pretty quickly. So, you know what? Actually, I got a buddy on the show here waiting patiently. Crypto Crank, how the hell have you done? I mean, I've been seeing you crushing it. You've been doing really good trading. This candle's probably going to give up those gains, sadly. I don't know. I mean, everything, like, that was good news. It didn't have, like, we only pumped up to like 104 or 5 within like 1 minute, gave it up quickly. Crank, we've been warning about some levels that we got to watch on the charts here. I want to bring your computer up on stage so we can get a viewpoint. Crypto Crank, he's inside of our Discord. This guy's absolutely crushing it, just to give some context. But if you can, it's the first time you've been on my show and given me the chance to kind of discuss with you what your thesis for this market truly is, right? And I respect your work. I've seen it. I've double checked it. I've been watching, and you've been crushing it, man. So just go ahead, take the floor real quick, and give everyone kind of a synopsis of where you're coming from as you're looking at the markets where it's at right now.
Awesome. So thanks again, Druth, for bringing me on, man. If you guys don't know, I'm Crypto Crank. I'm the creator of the Cranksters Trading Coliseum. That's my channel that I have over on YouTube and X and Telegram. And yeah, guys, we're just we're traders in my channel before we're influencers. So it's great that I get an opportunity to get on with some of the content creators that I actually have been watching for the last few years. It's great.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure,
Yeah.
man. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And the markets
good.
are on edge, man. They need I feel like I've been watching the 300 SMA pretty closely, and oh snap, hold on, let's bring him up as we're chatting here. Bring him up here. Let's see.
He's really a special guy. I'm going to take this. I'm going to put it in the White House, and then I'm
I
going to
wanna
move it
get
to Doral in about
He came back up.
3.5 years. We put it right in Doral, right?
This guy keeps
In
me
the
on my
lobby of Doral.
toes,
A lot of
bro.
people from
I'm
Doral.
telling you.
Well, thank you. That's a great honor.
I kind of want to hear what he has to say. Let me know in the chat also if the sound is okay on your
so
end.
many other things. He was a great real estate
Frank,
developer. He had a great personality.
Something I was looking at.
And you need a
is
personality for this. And I said,
I'll
he's
leave him
just
running in the
as
background.
good as there is, and he's done so well. And
Let's
you look
go
at what's
here.
happening
So-
with
I
this.
still have that echo.
Please, can you
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Let me know in the chat if the echo's coming over to you as well.
Steve Witkoff.
This,
Steve,
Frank, is
where are
worrying
you,
me,
Steve?
just so you can get a
Wherever
visual
you
on
may
it.
be.
So
Where are you, Steve?
on the
Thank you. What a
daily
job
time
you've
frame,
done. Thank you very much.
we tapped this 300
What a
SMA
job he's done.
3 times
That
so
guy's
far.
got that personality.
And then the last
No,
bull
I wanted a
market,
deal maker, but
we
a lot
tapped
of
this
deal makers
thing
don't have good
essentially 3
personality.
times
You
as
end up in a
well.
war.
It's got me
You
kind of
make the deal,
concerned,
but you end
dude. I'm
up
not
in a
gonna
war.
lie.
This guy.
So kind of want your opinion about that. It's a weird time in the markets. Seeing those on my charts makes me kind of concerned. What are you seeing, brother?
So this is what I'm worried about with Bitcoin is if we just go out to our daily, we can see that it's not good that we cannot get above $116,000. This 116 is huge right here. And what I'm afraid of with Bitcoin, we'll bring it all the way back. Let's go out to a 3-day real quick. And we have this that huge trend line that I keep talking about. This guy right here. And the line in the sand for me is $92,000. And when I start looking at some of these bearish targets, I'm telling myself, how do we get there? And so, when in doubt, zoom out, just like everybody tells. But let's go to a 4-hour, and we can see here that this 116, all right, 116, and then we flipped this into resistance, and then returned 112 into resistance. We turned 110 into resistance.
Right.
And now I'm here to tell you, dude, it is not going to be good if, I have this all drawn out right here on this chart. And again, you could see this is kind of, if you use a bars pattern, this is not going to be good, man, on this down. This is what I'm thinking. Again, we have 116, 110. You do not want to see 106. This is a massive level on this 106.
Okay.
That was a huge support level right here. Huge support level at this 106 right here. You see?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the fact that if we turn this into resistance, I have a target of 92. And the line in the sand for me now, if we maintain a bullish market structure at 92, where do I get 92 from? If we just pull our fib from this 74,
yeah,
it lines up almost beautifully. And we have a huge CME gap there. $94,000 is a massive fib level. And this would kind of it would scare a lot of people, especially because, again, going back to that trend line that I'm talking about on Bitcoin, if we just go back to that 3-day, that big trend line. Actually, do you see if we pull that fib again, it matches right up into this fib on this. I can't even talk right now. It matches right up that if we broke the trend line, kind of scare everybody out, everybody thinks we're done for it, and then bam, we just wick right into this 92. I think we maintain bullish structure. If we lose 92, though, dude, it's not happening. If we lose 92, then Bitcoin's top is in for me.
Okay. See, and this is why I love your TA. You have such a clear path of expectation. So basically, if we turn $106,000 into our new resistance and bonk our head against that level on the chart, we're in some serious trouble, likely going to be targeting $92,000. $92,000, we kind of just explained it as the line in the sand for continuation of a generalized bull market. Am I hearing this correctly?
Well, just if I take out this bars pattern real quick, if I just move this, look at this. Tell me this doesn't look identical, man. I mean,
Right.
it's
Right.
these whales have these levels unlocked, dude. And again, every single time we just pull these fibs going up bottom to top. These 0.5 rejections are also getting hit on these things, dude. Again,
Absolutely.
this is lining up on and again, this is lighting up to where if this happens, I do think that Bitcoin's going to take its next leg down. And again, we don't know as traders. We're working with every probable scenario, so that way when they happen, we're prepared. You know,
Right.
I'm looking at all of these scenarios, so that way, you know, if I'm looking to take shorts at 106, man, I'll happily take a low leverage short with a stop just directly above this.
Okay.
You know, 107 600s, to where if I get blown out of the water, I'm totally cool with that. And one of my largest positions that I'm in right now, I'm actually in a huge short from 124 500. I'm going to hold it. I'm at right at 124. I posted it. Yeah, 124 500.
Good.
And I'm going to
job.
hold that bad boy, dude. I'm going to hold it until, you know, if we start getting above 116 and work our way out of this.
I didn't even know that you had that trade in additionally, man. I just kept seeing all the things you're close. So this is a very, very good game plan here. Basically using that stop loss, low leverage short. Once we hit that 106 realm, stop loss right around the mid 107 mark, 107.5, 107.4-ish. And then if the market takes off and breaks that resistance, then your spot bags are winning if you don't even have any longs into position at that time. So you're still winning. You're protecting your trading bag. You live to fight another day. Very, very important. And hell of a thesis, Crank. Absolutely love it. Some good clarity there, man. So, and you know, I do want to talk about this like with you, and just kind of before I let you go and go back to Trump. If we are entering a new bear market, this is almost exciting for me to be the potential, because then we can short with Confluence, get Tether, and buy Bitcoin cheaper. Now we have a couple different angles. Our DeFi crypto and airdrops team building out people's knowledge and infrastructure on how to do DeFi during bear markets, because prices get pretty boring and slow at kind of the baseline of the bear market. You know, are you going to be looking for any sort of scalp longs if we do indeed break that $90,000 mark on Bitcoin, or is it going to be fully focused on shorts at that point for you?
So me personally, man, my bread and butter, it's called the Crypto Crank Radical Scalp Method, and I will be counter trading these altcoins to Bitcoin, and I have a kind of like a whole white paper, because Bitcoin's granddaddy, you know, Bitcoin's daddy, man. And you know, I encourage everybody for your portfolios to, when you're looking at these projects, your insurance policy needs to be, are you willing to hold if now is not the time for your project?
Yeah.
You know, I don't hold a large bag of crypto anymore. I hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, Solana. And the reason being is I don't plan on selling them. You know, I watched the Twitter space, man, the X space, and I hear everybody say, oh, you know, the project's coming down. Should I sell? I don't, guys, if that's the way you're feeling about your crypto, I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't own it. I don't.
Because there's not much conviction in that.
There's not much conviction. I don't plan on selling my Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's going to $1 million, it's the eighth modern wonder of the world.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But I think that let's see here, just real quick, dude. I
think you said something real powerful there. If there's no conviction, think about that long and hard right now in the hard times. Absolutely.
You need to. You guys need to start. You guys really need to start. You guys are your own portfolio managers. You guys aren't using professionals to do it. When you're investing inside of these, like me for Chainlink, you know, we don't have quarterly, you know, earnings and stuff for these projects. So we got to say, hey, do we have partnerships? Are the devs still working on the team? I'm not really worried about. I think that Chainlink's going to end up being a $300 billion tech company, equivalent to. It's just a matter of time. The whole world's, you know, Bitcoin's the most perfect form of money. And as far as trading goes, man, I'm in a bunch of trades right now. I trade hype.
Okay.
I trade BNB, and the reason being is when you see these big dips, we got to start attacking the projects that have they're not being blasted, man, like some of these other projects. Like if we just take a look at Hyperliquid, almost all the other assets are down here in the center of this wick of the 19 billion wick. Hyperliquid, strongest can possibly be. We look at like BNB finally it was way up here. Hopefully Hyperliquid doesn't end up doing this. If so, I'm going to try to catch this. But you know, a lot of look for some of the stronger projects. You know, look for some of these stronger
Zcash,
projects.
Dash are showing like things that are running right now while times are really bad are very, very interesting project to look at in terms of trading. So very, very good.
Another thing too, man, as I called Zcash, Dash, and Monero the gangster's choice. You'll notice that almost at the end of every one of these massive cycles, where these things run, because again, the transactions cannot be followed. They're not on a blockchain. They disappear. The gangster's choice, man. The privacy tokens are running, which tells me, dude, I think that I'm not completely bearish. I think Bitcoin can do one more hoorah. But dude, when these privacy tokens start ripping like this, there's a lot of money laundering. Those are the coins. You can't do it on Bitcoin on a public blockchain. When you send those transactions on Zcash, man, and Monero, we're at the tail. These guys are moving money.
That's the dark money swirl. They're getting out the back door,
dude.
Very, very key points to bring up, brother. And very good portfolio you got. I did these very same thing, very consolidated on my portfolio at this point. Feeling fine about it. I'm fine continually. I'm DCAing Bitcoin, but only slightly and consistently. But some excellent TA that you got laid out for us and a great game plan. So I really appreciate you coming on the show and kind of showing us what you're looking at here, because it would scare the living daylights out of people to see this market roll over from where it's at right now. But Bitcoin there is no denying, Bitcoin, as you're showing on the screen, has had a hell of a run already.
People just don't understand, man, that some of us, me, you, a lot of other influencers. What's up, Kelly? What's up, boy?
What's up, baby?
What's up, man? Yeah, people don't understand, dude, that we've been buying Chainlink at $4 to $8, dude. If you didn't sell a piece of that bag at a 5x Bitcoin, I think the last purchase that I bought Bitcoin was 26,000. Dude, we're up 11x on Bit, like just something stupid, dude. You know, we're up big time. So I'm not gonna be hurt, dude, if Bitcoin if the top is in. Me personally, dude. I want the weekends to. I don't plan on selling Bitcoin at 150, 200 grand. I want the weekend. Give it up, baby. Dump it, scare us. I want BlackRock to probably try to scare the shit out of Michael Saylor.
Yeah,
I'm really, bro. These dudes can come after Michael Saylor and drop that Bitcoin to 60 G's, bro. It'll.
Sailor's got
that'd be like the battle of the Titans right there. Holy moly.
It'd be sick, dude. I'm telling you, these guys can totally come after him. I think that Bitcoin's bottom, if the top is in, dude, Bitcoin's bottom is going to be anywhere between 50 and 65 grand. And then that 130 will just be dwarfed, just like we do before, man. Just take these little bars patterns and we'll rinse and repeat, and here we go, baby. We'll just just gonna look something like that.
That's why time in the market wins over timing the market. And we say it and it sounds cliche, but it's very, very true. It's like having conviction and the ability to hold through multiple cycles is really where the winners are formed.
If you're holding, I have a lot of friends, man, and these guys don't even own Bitcoin. Everyone's trying to get the edge on the market, dude. So they're always trying to get these altcoins. Dude, most people don't realize, just exactly the way Ben Cowan says it, that if we would have just put our entire lives into Bitcoin 2 years ago, today, we'd still be able to buy these low altcoin prices just from 2 years ago. It's like, dude, and
that's like trading Bitcoin, as well, not just buying 2 years, because I was buying and my first Bitcoin was like $4,000, but also trading and earning new tether with the chop has allowed me to get access to, I bought a little bit of Linnea with some new tether. I'm taking small calculated risks. They might turn out great, but if, we do break below that 90 spot, man, I do agree with you. There might be a lot of pain in the future, but Really appreciate you coming on the show, Crank. Really appreciate you coming on the show. It's a huge
Yeah.
show. Shout out. We got like 6,300 people watching right now.
But
Yeah,
Crank,
like
I
the-
will say this.
Mhm.
Due to my own sort of obsessive compulsive in terms of framing on the screen, I'm going to get with you privately to show you how to format the size of your screen so it fits onto the thing. It's going to be good.
So here's the sucky part, bro. I power up my trade station, dude, with a MacBook Pro, and I have
Just
one of
like
those
me.
big 51-inch screens. You know what I mean? And
Just like
it
me.
doesn't read as dual screens. So like when
We'll
I do
help you out offline. We're gonna help you
Yeah.
out
Let's do
offline.
it.
Today was a little crazy. We had Trump coming live, had to think on our feet, but the TA you're doing is sound, Crank. I really appreciate you coming on. And if you can, bring up your website as well on your computer screen so people can know where to follow you on your show. But you're in our Discord as well, always dropping some great information. And I love getting the traders out there. More information, the better. Here he is, Crypto Crank. And let's go full screen on this just to give it a full view. Real Crypto Crank. You can see it right there. Make sure to give him a follow. Okay. Make sure to give this man a follow. Really appreciate it, brother. And
get in
look
the
forward to
Discord,
bringing help.
guys. Get educated. Listen to some of these guys. And you know what? I would encourage everybody to, if you're listening to an influencer, if you're listening to a trader, back test everything. I've been raised and taught, man, to like listen to half of what you hear or half of what you see and none of what you hear. And so if you guys are being, if you're being told to buy these projects, or if you're being told to take these trades, all of you guys are working your buns off, you know what I mean, for this hard-earned money. And if you guys are going to put that money at risk in a crypto asset, you guys need to start back testing these influencers, these traders. And so it's good, man. So again, if you guys get to follow, I'd love to stay on and just go over opinions with you guys too, man, one of these times. And
we can
Kelly,
float through. I know Kelly's got some things he's gonna want to cover. If you have time,
you're welcome to stay on through the end of the show.
Yeah,
I'm
bring
hanging out, man. Yeah,
bring your stories up though, Kelly, because I got a few things. Trump was talking about the strong and resilient economy. GoFundMe CEOs talking about the economy being so bad, customers are crowdfunding just to pay for groceries right now, which is not a great sign. Alex Becker thinking that Kamala Harris would have been better for the crypto economy. Kind of a scary thing, but it says, finally we'll admit it, crypto bros would have been better off if Kamala won. Bitcoin would be $20,000, but at least we wouldn't have to worry about rent and food after being placed in communist Decepticon camps, re-education camps, and saying retard too many times on X. Just a couple things I wanted to cover here. This midterm election, and that's coming up, is very, very scary to me. So the local elections here is like, I showed up at mind you, I live in a very relatively rural area, and I could just tell Republicans were lazy on these local commissioner, mayoral level elections. Republicans need to turn up the heat if they want to retain presidency and if they want to, basically win the midterm election in 2026. There is a lot of focus. I feel like Republicans got complacent with winning the presidency. They feel like Trump's in place, so everything else is just kind of work out. It did not work out that way on the very microscopic kind of time frame there, or location side. So I just will say that's kind of what I wanted to get across today. Now, Kelly, I want to see what kind of stories you have that you want to bring up here. I'll pull my my computer down, but I'm a little worried about what I saw in the election last night. I am. Absolutely.
Well, me too. And I think there's kind of a couple different worlds we need to live in now. Your speculation on politics world, also realizing whatever political affiliation you have, whether it's Democrat, Independent, Libertarian, Republican, it's all a sham. Nothing that you're seeing from any of these candidates on any side. Think about even the current administration we have. Half the people were Democrat before they got pulled into this. So it's like none of it really makes sense. So what am I doing? I'm looking at Bitcoin. I'm looking at them printing dollar to infinity. And I feel a little bit like I'm outside my comfort zone right now. And I'm going to sort of hammer home some of the things that Crank said is we've got overwhelming bearish technicals in the market. I might be dying on this hill, but I still have a very strong case in my mind for the bullishness that can follow through out of this. I will say with that notion, though, I can endure this over the course of this next year if the market doesn't go bullish like I want. So if I'm saying I think this is going to still go bullish and you hold on and the market goes down and you're upset, well, first off, you're looking at it the wrong way. In this case, the technicals tell you to de-risk. You got bearish divergences all the way back here to March of last year, going into this top in January, going into this top that we just had in October. The beginning of October. And so money flow bearish divergence, RSI bearish divergence, yet we've been here before. We've been in this situation where we've testing this zone, testing this zone, testing this zone. The difference with where we're at right now is that people are also asserting the 4-year cycle narrative, which isn't wrong, but it's also not right. It's something that's correlated with the last 2 cycles. So people think it has to happen. In this case, if we're going to get something bullish in the near term, we're at that deciding zone right now. For the rest of this year, we're at that deciding zone. But we have been here before. It's in the it's over now stage. It's over now. It's over now. Every time this is pushed higher. What my biggest fear is right now is that there are technicals that say de-risk, that the market is going to go into that de-risking sort of paradigm where we do see a bit of a sell-off. But I still am very much of the opinion, because of the landscape, because of the dollar, because of the money market funds with $7 to $9 trillion, because of the Fed rate cuts that are likely coming again in December, potentially even a larger rate cut because of the stress on the banks, that the sell-off here is going to wreck more people than think that they're de-risking. They're actually taking on more risk, because I think that this is going to end up, even on a sell-off at this point, going to result in higher prices at some point in 2026. Now, looking at that, let me share this on, let me just share this really quick. I don't want to share it. It's too long. Essentially, he goes through the multiple times price went from $3 to 200, 200 to 7, 7 to 1200, 1200 to 150, 150 to 200, 220,000, 20,000 to 3,500, 3,500 to 70,000, 70,000. You see, the story has been rinsed and repeated, except everything before now, everything before January 20th of this year was in the face of the world banking cartel and government saying Bitcoin bad. Banks say Bitcoin bad. Now we have banks racing to stack, governments getting situated with clear regulatory clarity, and institutions already showing a parabolic increase in what they're buying in this market. So I don't believe that we're not going to have some, at least, maybe not a whole bullish year in 2026, but some new highs in 2026, despite what happens between now and the end of this year.
Let's hear Trump's final words here.
Let's hear it, baby.
Respected again, perhaps like never before. Our country is respected again like never. They were
Just getting
laughing
wrapped
at our
up.
country. We had a guy who couldn't walk up a flight of stairs, kept falling. It's very embarrassing. You know, at Air Force One, I go, sir, would you like the short stairs or the long? I say, give me the long every single time, please. The short ones, they call them the children's stairs.
He gets different
I don't want
stairs.
the children's stairs. Doesn't look so good coming out of the children's stairs.
Oh, Lord.
Now, if the weather's bad, it's okay, right? If you don't mind. But the communists, Marxists, socialists, and globalists had their chance, and they delivered nothing but disaster. And now let's see how a communist does in New York. We're going to see how that works out. And we'll help them. We'll help them. We want New York to be successful. We'll help them a little bit, maybe. For all of these failed and discredited, really discredited, if you think, ideologies of the past, their day is over, their grip is broken, and their time is absolutely done. The golden age of America has begun, and we are just getting started. It's a golden age like you've never seen before. From the steel mills of Pittsburgh to the oil wells of Houston, from the car plants of Detroit, and those car plants are pouring into our country, to the coal mines of West Virginia. Those coal mines are opening up one after another. Clean, beautiful coal. You're not allowed to use the word coal unless you say, in my administration, unless you use 2 words before it. Clean and beautiful. Biden would say, unless you use 2 words before it, here you go, clean. He said, what happened to the other word? Remember those things? You'd say 3 words and mean 2. But the West Virginia mines are doing unbelievable now. Wyoming is doing unbelievable. It's clean, beautiful coal. And from the bright lights of Las Vegas to right here in beautiful Miami, America is proud. America is confident. America is growing and successful. America is a great nation again. We're a great nation again. It's happened faster than I thought. I'll be honest again. We're respected by everybody. We are really, you see the way I get treated. I get treated that way. I guess a little has to do with me, but a lot has to do with the fact that I'm representing this country. America is respected again. America is a great nation again. The American dream is surging back to life, and we will never let the American dream die. Together we will make our country stronger, richer, safer, freer, and greater than ever before. And every day my administration will fight, 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 and America will win, win, win. I want to thank you, Miami. I want to thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to thank everybody for being here. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
So did he mention crypto twice? Because we caught the first main big crypto Bitcoin hoorah. I wonder if he brought it up twice. I was going through the rest of his speech while we got some TA from Crypto Crank. I don't think we missed it, but let me know if you guys got that that other thing that he said. Pull it up for me. Steve-O misses Isaac. I miss Isaac too. He's got to go serve the nation though. So it's been a hell of a day. Ethereum kind of looking a little bit floppy and gropey. I am going to be doing something very, very special with our Discord, and I am building out basically an alert system. Every single time a giant bag comes from Binance to Wintermute, you will have an alert system within our Discord. Make sure to join our Discord. It's free. Use your user ID. And also in the midst of this, please, for the love of God, be careful with how much crypto you're leaving on exchanges, right? If that rollover Crypto Crank was talking about as a potential does happen, there will be dead bodies floating up to the top of the river in terms of exchanges going under that are over leveraged in this current environment, hoping for continued upside. So please take this time frame to use code DC20, support this channel, and get yourself an Arculus. I'm not going to tell everyone what I'm about to do this week, but I am diving into the belly of the beast. I am going after the biggest systemic risk in crypto, and I need your guys' support and help to do so. So please, if you don't already have an Arculus, or if you have people in your life that you could give an Arculus cold storage device to for Christmas, because these things make perfect Christmas gifts, use code DC20 and support the channel, because I am going into the line of fire for you guys.
Well, Drew,
troublesome.
It's not just about, hey, prevent yourself from getting scammed and phished and stuff, or getting locked on exchange. I also use my Arculus specifically to put boundaries and borders on myself.
That's
so that
point.
I'm not actively trading everything because I have immediate access. Now, of course, you can very quickly move it from your cold storage. I mean, you can access these things quickly, but it's one more psychological step that now you're telling yourself, I put this here because this is supposed to be my long-term bags. So now you have to make the decision. I'm actually going to send this back over to exchange to make the trade. It definitely does help limit stupid behavior at a minimum. So I definitely recommend head over to getarculus.com. Use code DC20, get 20% off.
Absolutely. Support the channel, you guys. Well, Crank, it's an absolute pleasure having you up on the show here today, man. Looking forward to getting you back on. I'm going to be looking out for your trading setups in the Discord as well. Someone who's, I'm almost 40. What the F is a Discord? Jay Hines, if that's actually you, you look like Justin Timberlake at his prime, first of all. So if that's 40, good on you. A link in the description. It is a messaging platform. We have a trading community within there. We have tutorials on how to do DeFi. And it's a place where you can literally get on a call with me or Kelly or get our attention, and we can get direct communication with you guys. Also, Crank is in there. We just want to be connected to the community. I know there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear, and a lot of doubt out in the market right now. And I implore you to get part of that Discord community if you do have conviction in crypto. this is where you can find us. So,
Big
huge
thing too,
shout out,
guys. It's a lot of fun when you guys get dialed in. It's a lot of fun when you actually get to make withdrawals. All right.
Yes.
Most people don't. When you start trading and you start investing, most people, guys, don't know that most people don't make money. So get out there and protect yourself. And I promise you, if you guys stay educated, listen to these influencers, listen to these guys, the right traders, guys, things get so much fun. More fun in crypto when you actually start to withdraw.
Just change your life with crypto. All right. It's not just pictures and numbers on a screen. You can change your life with this.
Start
you just have to be
realizing it,
willing
man.
to sell. All right. I love you guys. And I will see you on the next
next week, dude.
episode. Hell of a stream, boys. I'll see you guys soon.
We just wanted to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor, Arculus. They are a cold storage hardware wallet, helps you secure all of your digital assets for the future. Just tap this thing to the back of your phone and boom, you're in. We wouldn't be able to do this without them, but also wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, the Disco fam. You've supported us a lot over the years. If you want to support the channel now, just use the code DC20. It gets you 20% off this card. It's the #1 way you can support this channel going forward. Thank you for your support. We'll see you at the top.